You're in Key West, it's humid, the air smells like salt and spilled beer. You step inside a bar where bras hang from the ceiling. So far, so good. There's dollar bills lining the walls, another solid sign, and a massive tree trunk rises straight through the center of the room. Odd. That tree trunk isn't just decoration, it was once a tree where many men met their demise, hanging from its branches. Today on Tales from the Tavern, we're talking about Captain Tony's Saloon. Captain Tony's has been a Key West institution since the 1950s. Writers, fishermen, drifters, and tourists have all passed through these doors. But the building itself is much older. In the 1980s, they decided the old girl needed a facelift, and so renovations began. Painting went fine, electric fine, everything was normal until the floorboards were pulled up, and that's when things got weird, even by Florida standards. The workers found more than a dozen sets of human remains beneath the floor. Who were they? Where did they come from? No one knew. One theory traces them back to the 1800s, when this building served as the city's ice house. In the days before refrigeration, ice was precious, and so was cold storage for the dead. The ice house doubled as a morgue. Another theory points to the tree that stands in the middle of the bar. Historical accounts suggest that public executions once took place here. Roughly 20 men were hanged from that very tree. And then, of course, there's a tombstone. Sorry, that's a detail I forgot to mention. You see, during renovations, a gravestone was discovered under the floorboards. The name carved into it was Elvira. Of course, this one was long before the Mistress of the Dark. This Elvira died in 1822 at the age of 19, long before the saloon ever opened its doors. Legend says she married young to a man nearly 3 times her age. He was cruel, he was drunk, and some believe she met her end at his hand beneath that very tree. A forgotten soul, even her headstone was buried, beneath a bar, of course. Tragic Elvira may not be the only spirit of a woman tied to this place. There are stories of a woman in a blue nightgown soaked in blood, seen wandering the streets before being dragged back and hanged by a furious mob after murdering her family. And of course, there's another dark tale. Speaks of a woman who discovered her husband's affair during the 1920s. She was driven mad and killed her child in the bathroom of their home. She waited for hours for her husband to return, the body of her daughter in her arms. 3 women. 3 violent stories, 1 tree. Are they separate tragedies? Or, like so many stories, twisted by time and the sea? Staff and visitors have reported strange occurrences. A woman gliding through the pool room, passing through the tables as if they weren't there. Then there's the tales of the Florida heat, turning ice cold in an instant. Bathroom stall doors slamming shut when no one is inside. Drunken men losing their keys. And then, of course, there's the voices. But that's a story for another time. Captain Tony's is more than a bar. It's a landmark, a Key West rite of passage. It's also a place built on bones, resting beneath a hanging tree with stories that refuse to stay buried. So tonight, we raise a glass to the restless spirits of Captain Tony's. We're calling this one the Hanging Tree. 2 ounces of dark rum, 1/2 ounce of coffee liqueur, 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, topped with a splash of cola. Give it a stir, take a sip. If the air turns suddenly cold despite the Florida heat, if you hear a name whispered over the sound of clinking glasses, don't panic. Some bars serve drinks, some bars serve stories, and some bars, remember.